In the last lesson, we have created a program to find the sum of digits. This time we're going to create a program to find the reverse of a number. That means if somebody gives us number 1 to 3, we need to find out the reverse, which is going to be in this case 3 to 1. Okay, this is something we need to do. Again, it's going to be super easy if you have understood the previous lesson. As I already mentioned, that if you do not understand how to find the sum of digits or how to separate each digits of a number, then it's going to be difficult for you to understand next few lessons as well. So please, if you have not understood that, go back and try to try to review that and then come back here. Now let's see how can we find the reverse. So here I'm going to write a program to find the reverse of a number. Okay, now the logic will be kind of similar, just a little change we need to do this time, just to find the reverse of a number. And why is that? Let me tell you. So if you recall, the logic was, in our case, how to separate the number. You remember we have used reminder, and then we divided the working variable or the temporary variable by 10, and we were looking for the reminder number only. So each time we're separating the number by this logic, and then we are adding that number to the sum variable, right? That was our main way of finding the sum of digits. Okay, here we were reminding and we were changing the temporary number or the working number each time. And how that was doing, we were dividing by 10. We are looking for only the quotient part. So this was our logic in this, of course, in the last lesson, which was how to find the sum of digits. Now we need to change a bit here. So let's say here, if we have a number 1 to 3, as you know, first time we'll get 3 here, right? And we are adding that 3 with the initial value of sum, which is 0, right? So we always start here like sum is 0. This is how we start. Now what we're going to do this time here, try to understand if we want to reverse this. It's pretty straightforward. As I said, only one thing we need to do here. And what is that? Here we need to multiply by 10 each time. So let's say when we have 0, of course, for the first time, it will be 0 into 10, and the result is going to be 0 here, right? And then we have the remainder, which is 3. So if you have 0 plus 3, of course, the end result, what is going to be here? The end result is going to be 3. So let me just put it like that. And next time, you know that we will have the digit 2 for sure. So next time, the remainder will have 2 here. So now the last sum was 3. 3 into 10 will be 30. And then the new remainder is 2, 32. So here we'll get 32. And then we know the last digit we'll get, if we try to separate it by doing like this, then it will be 1. That's the last digit left. And in this case, 1 into 10. Here the last sum was 32. So 32 into 10 will be 320. And the new remainder is 1. So therefore we'll have 3 to 1. So there is not that many changes we need. And as you can see, this is our reverse number, right? So all we need to do, we need to multiply by 10, the sum. Okay, so let's go down below here. If we just multiply by 10, that should be all actually. So here we can say reverse of, let me show you that. Let me just print it here, reverse of something. And this is our original number, then we are printing the sum. Let me just compile and run it so that you can see what basically I want to do. So here, if I give 1 to 3, the reverse you can see is 3 to 1. And then let's run it again. Let's say if I give 5 4 8, it should be 8 4 5, right? And there you go. It is 8 4 5. So hopefully things are making sense. Of course, you can change the naming of the variable. Instead of sum, maybe you can use the reverse so that it makes more sense again. Okay, but the logic is still same. You do not need to think about the naming of the variable that much. But of course, just to make it more meaningful, we use better naming. Otherwise, the logic is same. You can use, as I said, temporary variable. You can use R for reminder. You can use still the sum for calculating the overall sum here and to find out the reverse. So hopefully this made sense. In the next lesson, we are going to find how to check whether a number is palindrome or not.